making progress? Are you seeing development? Now, year three, the summer of year three, obviously didn't work out the way we wanted to, but we were positioned because of our fiscal responsibility, because of our draft picks, we were positioned to make a move and get a player. We were positioned to look at free agency and say, listen, we got a little bit of money. And we didn't even have the money, but we had someone in the organization who was in charge of the financials who moved some things around. Listen, if we trade these veterans on draft day, you may not get a draft pick, but it'll free up money so you can get a free agent. And we might have to push off draft picks for another year. And Knicks fans, we didn't know what the hell was going on. So we sitting around twiddling our thumbs. I had a damn video party. I had my family on one side. I had the ops on the call because I was ready to tap dance on their grave, tap dance in their face when we made a great move. And it didn't happen. And Knicks fans were sitting there staring at the TV with crickets. Crickets. And all you heard me thinking was, this bitch. And they was laughing at me. But we didn't know what was going on at the time. And the next thing you know, they said the New York Knicks are close to signing a point guard. And this is why this period is an important period for the New York Knicks organization. Because the one thing the New York Knicks have never had since Mark Jackson, since Steph Marbury, but none of them point guards really led to winning, was a point guard for the New York Knicks. And we had an opportunity to get one, but they still didn't know what he was. Still didn't know what he was. But around this time, when we had the opportunity to get that point guard, we started realizing, you know what, Golden State is winning more than anybody else. You know, Giannis just kind of came in and snuck a championship. LeBron is always there, but he's not winning at the same rate that he used to be. Is the league changing? Is that window about to open where somebody else can emerge and there can be a change of the guard? LeBron's sun is beginning to set. Maybe we need to speed it up and make some type of move so we can make sure that the moment he leaves, we are right where we need to be to resurrect this franchise. So that summer was so important for a lot of things. And it was the perfect time for the New York Knicks to emerge. So the New York Knicks went out and got the point guard that they needed. The New York Knicks made it known that Jalen Brunson was on their radar. Maybe they made it known too well that he was on the radar. They did too much. They did too much. They showed up at the game scouting. And all they could say to Mark Cuban was, sorry, bro. Mark Cuban was like, tampering. Okay? But it didn't matter because they didn't hold up their end. They didn't take care of their business. And the New York Knicks were able to secure a point guard. A point guard with the skill set that Jalen Brunson has. A point guard who just past playoff series impressed the world as a player who had just been inserted into the starting lineup that season, but historically was a backup. So because it's New York, everybody has something to say. Everybody has some type of criticism. Or the New York Knicks are going for the extra small backcourt. Oh, you know, well, Donovan, he's not Donovan Mitchell, but he just went tit for tat with Donovan Mitchell and eliminated Donovan Mitchell. But when the word got out that the New York Knicks were aiming at Donovan Mitchell and they might secure Jalen Brunson, then the first thing they said is, oh, that's a short backcourt. That's not going to work. Always changing the goalposts for the New York Knicks. So something that had to be impressive that's often overlooked by Knicks fans is the ability to have two sets of conversations taking place. You're working the angle with Jalen Brunson, and then you're ultimately inserted into the negotiations with Donovan Mitchell and several other teams. And as you see reports coming out now, we were really close in getting Donovan Mitchell as well. What would we look like if we had Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson? We would never know. I don't even want to dive into that. But the beauty of it was that we had a front office who was engaged in those talks. And because it didn't go through, our natural inclination is always to say it's something we failed to do. We see the players now. We put them out there. And we heard the other team say, well, who is this? We don't know anything about Quickly. Like, what type of value? You guys are overvaluing their players. That's what I was hearing from opposing Knicks fans. From opposers of New York Knicks organization and their fans. That's what I was hearing. That we overvalue our players aren't as good as we think they are. So we had to deal with that. Let me take off this. So we had to deal with a lot of that BS. My bad, y'all. I'm gonna be speaking in auto-tune. Trying to turn this new stuff off. There we go. All right, there we go. We back to normal. So we ultimately got our point guard that we were looking for. And we didn't really know what we got. We just know, all right, finally, okay, we got somebody at the point guard position. And what I absolutely love about this front office, they thought they were slick. They already know New York fans are the most knowledgeable fans in the world. They know we're going to do our Googles. So I had already put together a video. Go check out that video paid in full that I did on Jalen Brunson. Go check that out. I did a great job. I was comprehensive. I talked about his Elijah foot package, his feet's movement. That man layup package is on steroids. His efficiency was up. His ability to penetrate, his dribble, the fact that he has an unorthodox imbalance to his dribble package that keeps everybody like guessing. He's our point guard now. So I already knew what we get. And I had already said that after watching and doing the research to put that video together, I said, that's my new player. That's my new favorite player. He's going to be a problem in New York, and New York is going to love him. Yo, New York Knicks fans, many of us, we were crapping on him. Stop playing. Stop acting. Look. You know who you are. Everybody was just like, why we give him like a max contract? He ain't no max player. Yo, y'all were going in on this cat. The way y'all was on Twitter, it sounded like this. Yeah. That's the New York round of applause that you was giving to. More? What? More? You ain't done? You pulling something else out? That's how y'all sounded on Twitter. And I remember going to the ops because y'all had me convinced. I'm like, damn, did I just do this 2 days research and put together this video? But the way New York Knicks fans talking about it, maybe I'm missing something. So I go to the Dallas Mavericks fan pages and they laughing at us as a fan base. Yo, they are laughing at us. It was just like, yo, they don't know basketball, bro. Apparently they ain't been watching what we've been watching. He grew up with us. We drafted him. He grew here. He got better here. They didn't want to let him go. They were pissed at their front office for letting someone of that caliber go. And then our front office was just like, he's just a piece. He is not the savior. He's just a piece. So Knicks fans, we don't want you putting that on him because they didn't know how he would handle the pressure that we would put on him if he was identified as a major piece. if we looked at his skill set and identified for ourselves, yo, this man is a superstar in the making. And I'll be honest with you, I got to give credit. I applaud that. The front office has enough foresight to know the type of fan base they have, and they didn't want us to put that pressure on him just yet. They want to try to get him some help. They want to at least give him a season where he's allowed to make mistakes, because that pressure hit a little bit different in New York. But we ended up getting our point guard, so that was a major step. That was a signature move, and Leon's first signature move, getting Tom Thibodeau a floor general. Ultimately, Jalen Brunson started reaching out to fans, reaching out to teammates, letting himself be known. Do y'all remember those runs in the summertime? Y'all remember those runs that weren't televised, but everybody was talking about it, right? Yo, Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, they killing it in these rec leagues, these summer leagues. Oh, the New York Knicks, so now they got a point guard. So, Julius is showing up and RJ is showing up with their new point guard, Jalen Brunson. Y'all remember what happened? They weren't gelling. They just went out there for fun. But the NBA world was killing them. The New York Knicks, they're the same old Knicks. They lost to a bunch of people who walked in off the street. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember those summer runs? Yeah, doesn't it feel like Jalen Brunson has been with us for like 2 years already? This is only the first year. And he walked in and said, yo, Jules, meet me here. Yo, RJ, meet me here, or whoever. Let's see if we can get a little bit of chemistry. Let's see what we can do. But the NBA world was ready for the instantaneous. They saw it in Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, not knowing that they're already good friends. So they probably played together already. But even if they knew that, they wouldn't care, because it was another opportunity to kick the New York Knicks. So this man came in and he did his best to say, you know what? I'm going to apply my leadership. I'm just going to be me. I ain't trying to be anything extra. We're going to work. And what the New York Knicks ultimately did was they found a point guard who really complemented the team. A point guard who came in with the skill set that was on an all-star type level, that has superstar type potential, but a humility and a personality, humble enough, intelligent enough, basketball IQ, general IQ, leadership IQ out of this universe, out of this stratosphere, to be able to say, all right, Julius, we're going to build you up. All right, RJ, I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to calm everybody down with things that the wheels start looking like they're going to fall off. I know how to do that. And I'm connected and close enough with the coach so that the coach is probably calling me saying, yo, listen, this is what you're going to expect. This is what you're going to need to do with this guy. This guy over here, you could be a little bit more tough. So shout out, kudos to the front office. Kudos to the coach for identifying this young man as the point guard. There's a lot of intangibles that he brought to the table that no other player could have brought to the table. DeJounte Murray wouldn't have lasted in a Knicks jersey. He wouldn't have had the same impact. Donovan Mitchell would have been too hyped. He would have had that similar mellow type of flow where you got all that energy in to be the man, to be that person that brings, the oohs and ahs. He would have struggled in his first year in New York. Only a player such as this, the point guard, Jalen Brunson, has the mettle to be able to endure what he endured and still exceed in his first year. Still exceed. So it was key that we had that signature move. I don't care what anybody says. His performance this year was out of this world. So the New York Knicks proved that not only they could sign a free agent, but that they could draft talented character type of players. You got a player such as a IQ, who we've seen this season, take his game to another level. And there's stages. Many of you will say, yeah, but he ain't show up in the playoffs. Well, mother flippers, stop. Listen, you put your food in the microwave for a minute and it's frozen, it ain't gonna be cooked. Just because you put it in the microwave don't mean it's gonna be ready when you take it out. So you gotta put it back in there, leave it a little bit longer, and be patient so that it cooks and you can enjoy your meal. Many of you got microwave mentalities. You got air fryer desires, and it's not fitting with our timeline. We're about to go into year 4. Now, because it's year 4, it's a different story. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get to that. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. But the type of development that's taking place, y'all continue not to give Tom Thibodeau credit. Y'all continue not to give his coaching staff credit. They're working with these players. They're challenging these players. They're giving them game plans. They're making them participate in summer league. They're telling them exactly what they're needing from them. They're giving them roles to play. They're telling them exactly what they're needing from them. And the players are responding. That's a major thing. It's been part of our history for that 25-year period of losing. And we see it in other organizations where the players simply tune out the coach and they no longer respect them. And something we've seen consistently with this coach is that someone always has an ear towards the coach. Even when one or two decide to stray, the majority of the group pull them back in and get them refocused and locked in on the goal. And that's culture. That's a respect to know that the coach is going to work more hard than the players. So if he's working as hard, then you know you got to do your part. That's why the reputation, no matter what they say about not wanting to play for coach, anybody who played for Coach Tibbs say they always are the most prepared. From Kevin Garnett to Joakim Noah. So the development piece, y'all got to start putting some respect on Tibbs' name. We even talking about Mitchell Robinson. Y'all saw him this year. Y'all saw him last year. It was a contract year last year, but that was the first year he pushed through those injuries because he wanted to get the bag. He got nicked up. He would fall, hit these. Any other time we would see him fall, bang his elbow, he's out for the game. Now he got up, he shook that off. He was just like, I got to work my way through it. Of course, he's a big man, so there's going to be a couple of games that he does miss. But for the most part, he made it through that season as much as he could. The season before, he missed the playoffs, so he never got the taste of that. Last season, that season after that, we were terrible, so we missed the playoffs again. This season, he said, I want to know what it feels like when I'm a piece that's part of the team and whether or not we win or lose. And we see what he produced. This season, he came into his own. He started realizing he found the perfect weight to play at. He started measuring himself and knowing how to slow the game down and start looking at the schedule and studying his opponents. And you know when your development starts to get on point, when the ops start calling you the best at what it is that you do in the league. You know, we got to keep Mitchell Robinson off the boards. He's a beast on the offensive boards. Or when they take a little shot and try to trash talk, you know the confidence is where it's supposed to be when he comes back and he says, yeah, how'd that turn out for you? That's development. That's when you're embodying what the coach has already laid down. Many of us wanted to get him out of here. Yeah, we want offense at that spot, whatever have you. Listen, man, that's almost like you guys at Christmas when you open up your gifts and you mad because you didn't want clothes. I wanted the whatever. I wanted the toy. Why do I got clothes? Well, sometimes for the moment, it's all about what you need as opposed to what you want. We need Mitchell Robinson to establish who we are and to get to where it is we need to go. If something pops up that's completely blowing it out of the water better, and we have access to it, then we make the move. But this young man, he was from the mud. He's ours. And he's doing his part to improve. You're talking about he don't, shoot, his game ain't expanding. He even if that's not his role, he's stating it. He's letting y'all know that's something he's willing to work on. Free throws. He's part of history making those 2 big-time free throws when they tried to hack a Shaq in. These kids are working their tail off, and they're continuing to get better every year. And we're about to enter year 4 and 5 of the 5-year plan.